How about now? There we go. All right, 5:31 PM, let's call our meeting to order. Kennedale City Council, this is our regular monthly meeting. The date is November 18th, 2025, and we are at City Hall Council Chambers, 405 Municipal Drive, Kennedale, Texas, 76060. Madam Secretary, can I get a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Mayor Brad Horton.
Present.
Place 1, Councilmember David Glover.
Present.
Place 2, Councilmember Thelma Kobeck.
Present.
Place 3, Mayor Pro Tem Kenneth Michaels.
Here.
And place 5, Councilmember Jeff Navarez.
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. At this time, we're going to do our invocation and pledges of allegiance to the U.S. and Texas flags. I'm going to ask everybody stand, and going to ask Councilman Navarez to lead us in our invocation and Councilman Michaels to lead us in our pledges.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Please pray with me. Father God, we ask that you bless this proceedings, Lord. We ask that you bless the leadership and the citizens of Kennedale, Lord. We ask that you bless our men and protect him from things like prostate cancer, Lord, in the No Shave November month. Just remind everybody that our men need help too. And we ask that you continue to bless the city of Kennedale as we move forward into the next year. And we hope and pray that our Christmas tree lighting ceremony goes off with a hitch and very safe. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
All right, thank you, everybody. So at this time, we're going to do a presentation, and we've got a proclamation designating November as Native American Heritage Month. And the proclamation reads, whereas Native Americans are descendants of the original indigenous inhabitants of what is now the United States, whose roots are deeply embedded in this land, whereas their customs and traditions are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout Texas and the United States, keeping their ancestors' memories, traditions, cultures, and languages alive. And whereas the City of Kennedale affirms its commitment to working toward a society that fosters a deeper understanding and appreciation for the diversity of culture and history of the 574 federally recognized American Indian and Alaska Native nations in our country, 3 of which are located in Texas. And whereas Native American contributions and values have shaped the social, political, environmental, and economic fabric of our nation, while also enhancing freedom, prosperity, and cultural diversity. And whereas during the month of November, we honor our Native peoples and recognize their continued contributions in strengthening the diversity of our community and society. Therefore, Brad Horton, Mayor of the City of Kennedale, Tarrant County, Texas, do hereby proclaim November 2025 as Native American Heritage Month. All right, we got somebody. All right, so at this time, we're going to move to our public comment section. And the Kennedale City Council welcomes comments from the public. Those wishing to speak must sign in prior to the start of the meeting. Speakers may speak on any topic, whether on the agenda or not. The Kennedale City Council cannot act upon, discuss issues raised, or make any decisions at this time. Speakers under citizens' comments shall observe a 3-minute time limit. Inquiries regarding matters not listed on the agenda may be referred to staff for research and/or possible future action by the board. Madam Secretary.
We have 2 public speakers. Our first one is Sadia Said. She's here to discuss TAD.
Yes. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I am Sayada Sayed, and I'm one of the candidates for Tarrant Appraisal District Board of Directors, and it's on your agenda. You are voting for that. I'm here. If you have any question, ask me. I'm the only one running for that, has no conflict of interest. I never represented for any elected official of taxing entity, nor my spouse worked for a taxing entity in Tarrant County, and I never have 2 homestead for years. So I'm the only one who has very clean hand, no ties attached, no conflict of interest. Currently, I'm a former Appraisal Review Board member, and currently, as of July 2024, that Board of Directors appoint the member of ARB. I'll bring the clarity to understand the ARB process to the TAD board. Remember, we had Mr. Gary Losada before. He was the trained ARB member. He had that experience, and I'm the only one who's running for that. And Mr. Losada is not on the ballot and nor on the board. Since January of 2025, I have attended all the TAD's closed-door entity meetings, and I attended those meetings on behalf of entities who voted for me in the prior election cycle. Those are Colleyville, Crowley, Benbrook, Haltom City, Richland Hills, Grapevine, Haslett, Azle, White Settlement, Grand Prairie, Fort Worth ISD, and Arlington ISD and Everman ISD. Going forward, my plan is to implement the recent changes by 89th legislative session within the Texas Property Tax Code, focusing on uniform and equal appraisals, uniform and equal treatment to all taxing entities and the taxpayer. SB 973 passed by the 89th legislative session relating to the periodic reappraisal of properties and redirecting appraisal district to follow section 23.01 of Texas Property Tax Code, which stated that all taxable property is appraised at its market value as of January 1st. And it's my very strong belief that January 1st comes every year. The accuracy of your tax roll and integrity of your tax roll would be my first priority. I was the one who brought 200 overvotes to TCC. I bring it to the TAD chairman and the entity itself, TCC, Arlington ISD, and several other ISD. Because of that, ISDs combined lost 118 votes, Commissioners Court lost 22 votes, and cities combined lost 60 votes. Kennedale could be not affected by that, but some of them are. So tonight, I'm asking your votes. I believe you do not have enough votes this time because this election is only for 2 positions, but I'm here and I'm asking your support to please vote for me and help me bringing the good changes in our appraisal district. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next.
Okay, the next person we have is Ms. Sarah Johnson with announcements.
First of all, I didn't hurt the mayor, okay? All right. The announcement is Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, I'll be accepting the turkeys and turkey breast. So if you want to start bringing them Wednesday, I brought my other freezer up from the house. Our men folk worked so hard this year to get all of our, everything up to date for the what we needed to get up to date for the fire codes and everything. And we put in new outlets. So now I got 2 freezers instead of 1. So it's going to be helpful. So I can take turkeys tomorrow. I can take Thursday turkeys and Friday. We had to do it a little different because when you're doing all three areas, when you're doing the senior living, the senior outreach, and the senior center, it gets a little hectic. So we decided to divide it up to give our sponsors and more people ample time to donate extra. We have a few that we would want to still give that called and said, I would really like a turkey, and right now I don't have turkeys for them. So if somebody could donate about 10 more turkeys and about 20 more turkey breasts, I would appreciate it. I want to thank Mr. Pennington and Mark Fueling, are one of our biggest supporters this year. Another big supporter, believe it or not, is Miss Lori Sanders. And the quarter auction, it helped us a lot get started on our Thanksgiving sacks this year. And we've been working, collaborating a lot this year together because we need you to get more involved with our pantries. Y'all do all these big things for, your Red Kettle Day and different things like that. But what are you doing for our pantries? We don't get no money. I don't get paid to do this. Lori don't get paid to do this. We don't get paid to do this. And a lot of times, my husband and I make sure we have stuff on the shelves for our seniors, okay? And if we can sacrifice, everybody should make this a point. To any special event we have, it should be packed, just like Hometown Christmas. And that's not right. And I have other ideas that we need a community calendar that embraces everybody's, not just posting the city's events, but every month, somebody's events needs to be there with city events. All right. Now we have one fundraiser. Our last fundraiser is Thursday night at Chili's. 2 charities, When We Love and the Kennedale Community Pantries. They will be collecting coats, blankets, hams, and turkeys, okay? And in order for me to make my Go Friday, I need y'all to give on Thursday night, okay? My number is 817-333-4178. You can text me, and I'll meet you at the church. All right, have a good night.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody else want to speak now? Going once? All right. So we're going to go ahead and move into our regular session, and we'll start with reports and announcements and updates from the city council and mayor. We'll start with Councilman Navarez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to take my time just to talk about the No Shave November. Each year, for the last couple of years, I've been, for the first time in my life, growing a beard. And it's a good excuse to forget your razor at home when you go out of town. So this year I joined it again. And just a couple of facts about prostate cancer with men. 1 in 8 men are diagnosed with prostate cancer above the age 65. The risk increases with age. 6 in 10 cases are diagnosed with men at 65 or older, and it's rare for men under 40. It's extremely also 1.7 times more for African American men are likely to get this disease as well. But the survival rate is about 99% as long as you do early detection within 5 years. It's recommended that you do it at age 50 unless you have previous prostate cancer in your family, or if you're African American, then they recommend the age 45 that you start doing this. So like everybody, just to be aware, ask your men at those ages to go get tested and, send about $10 to a cancer organization that supports that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Michaels.
About the only thing I got to add, I spent the end of October at the TML conference, and just last week we were at the EDC conference. So that's about it.
Councilwoman Kobeck.
First of all, a big shout out to the Kennedale Police Department. We've had to give them a couple of calls recently on some really unusual stuff, and I really appreciated the quick response. And it's always good to know that a community like Kennedale, we have such a wonderful police and fire forces that keep us safe. Also, the Mayor's Red Kettle Challenge for the Salvation Army is coming up December 13th. Remember that all of the funds that are raised do stay local. They stay in the local area. That's one of the nice things about the Salvation Army. And so we will be at the Walmart on that date. We will also be at Kroger on that date. We'll probably have a couple of kettles set up at a few businesses around town. So please consider contributing to that. Other than that, I don't have anything, and hope I didn't take your thunder there, Mayor.
Councilman Glover.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I dropped into the Rotary meeting in October, and one thing I want to mention is that the KHS Student Advisory Council was presenting on the toy drive they're hosting this year. So if you are able to, please reach out to them and figure out how to give. And I also just want to say, because we didn't give an update for September, but I did attend the Community Thanksgiving Food Drive concert that was hosted by Mrs. Sarah Johnson. Thank you for Mr. Curtis Grimes for joining us and giving us some good music and some good time. It was a good evening. And Ms. Sanders, of course, and FUMC completely, who helped as well. Thank y'all.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and punt to the city manager. He's got a couple here, so Mr. City Manager.
Perfect, thank you. First, we have been in a search for a community development director for a while, and we have actually located one that we feel that fits our culture, fits exactly what our needs are. And I'd like to introduce Edward McRoy. As you can see right here, lovely man.
I agree with that.
He doesn't have a Christmas tie on. He's close, but it's not Christmas. So I'll give you his bio real quick. He is a seasoned planning development professional with more than 20 years of progressive experience leading municipal planning, development services, transportation planning, multidisciplinary public sector teams. Unfortunately, he was born in Chicago and raised in Colorado. Ed graduated from University of Northern Colorado with a bachelor's degree in communications and attained a master's degree in public administration from Troy State University. Ed has served in a wide range of senior roles across fast-growing Texas communities, including roles as Assistant Director of Planning Development Services for the City of Abilene, Development Services Director and Building Official for the City of Crum, amongst other cities. His work includes comprehensive zoning, subdivision code rewrites, capital planning, thoroughfare planning, impact fee updates, building and health inspections, housing programs, and major ordinance development. Please help and welcome Mr. Ed. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Are you a White Sox fan or a Cubs fan, being from Chicago?
Well, I was a Sox fan during the age of Bill Veeck, for those of you who are traditionalists and understand that. What a great owner, right? But I'm now fully a Rangers fan, so.
Great job. If I could get Christian to come up, he'll give us an update on our infrastructure with our roads and our water storage building.
Sure. So real quickly, what you see in front of you there is our T4 ground storage tank that we had on construction for the past several months. We're glad to say that it's fully completed, and we're looking to have a final on Monday, and hopefully after that final, it should be online. So another upgrade project that we have in the books is the T3 elevated storage tank. This has been in the books since 2019. In 2021, Fraser Nichols did an evaluation of the tank and recommended that there's room for improvement. We had water quality. We have the cathodic protection is failing. Right now, it's actually failed. So right now, we are having water quality issues. We are in discussion with Fraser Nichols to have this tank retrofitted starting in July with advertising and awarding a contract, and hopefully to have the construction completed by December 2026. Some of the completed project we had that North Road project, a CDBG project for about 1,300 linear foot of AC pipe. We upgraded from 6-inch to 8-inch PVC, so that's completed. Another project that was completed just recently is the Sweeney Hyatt Road from College Sublet to Joplin, so that's done. Another project we have under construction right now is the South New Hope Road, which is from the railroad track to Hudson Village Creek. We anticipate to have this completed by end of January, weather permitting. A project that we want to get accomplished this coming year, it's a new, not a new procedure, but we want to go ahead and overlay some of the concrete streets that we have in the city. And we decided to go and use Hilltop as a scapegoat. So we're gonna go and do some base repair, do some milling, and come back and overlay Hilltop from Reeds to Hillside with 2 inches of asphalt. If it pans out pretty good, the community likes it, I'm looking forward to do more of this within the concrete streets that right now are really failing. Hopefully this is gonna reduce the cost for us, and we could have some more street being overlaid. Another project that we have coming up that's already completed design, we're gonna have it advertised and hopefully have it awarded by December to start construction early January, February. And that's that Briar Court Hillside Sewer Project that's been within the city of Kennedale since 2018, 2019. Another project, this is a big project that we have coming up. It's with Fraser Nichols now under design. It's almost 2 miles of upgrades to our sanitary sewer lines. Right now, they're all undersized. It's gonna eliminate some of the INI that we've been experiencing. So our line's gonna be going up from 15 inches to 24 inches, starting from the racetrack all the way to 820. We anticipate this to start construction in 2027. 2027. This is the Valley Line stabilization project that's been a completed design. Basically, we've been awarded the funding from FEMA, and we're gonna get that hopefully as soon as we finish the HAZMAP. And we have a consultant on board, and he anticipates to have that to us and approved by FEMA early next year. Once that's done, this Valley Lane construction project should start sometime by May, everything considered. That's all the projects we have that's in the books right now.
Thanks, Christian.
Anybody have questions on any of this project?
Christian, one quick clarifying question. On the Valley Lane stabilization, did you say that was pending FEMA or FEMA has approved it?
FEMA already approved the funding as far as I understand. And it has to go to, well, TDM approved it, but since it's over $1 million, it has to go to Washington, to FEMA up there, and since it's over $1 million, but they're gonna review it as soon as we provide the HAZMAP, the Hazard Action Plan. And like I said, we plan to have that completed by first of the year and be in construction by May, June.
All right, thank you, sir. Financial reports for the city.
Good evening. I'll be quick. Our property tax and sales tax revenues are both really low numbers, but that's expected. We don't receive a lot of property tax toward this time. We'll start seeing a lot of receipts in December. January is our biggest month in property tax receipts. So the 1.3% of the total budget, that's exactly what we were expecting. Our sales tax revenues, again, those are 2 months behind in collections, so we won't really see a number for this October activity until December, January time period. General fund expenditures year to date, we see we're at 10% of the total budget, even though we're only 8.3% throughout the year. Same as last year, we make our annual insurance payment the first month of the fiscal year, so that puts our non-departmental department way ahead of pace, and that's a driver. The other driver of that 10% is we haven't fully completed our end-of-year activities. We have 2 payroll periods, 1 full payroll, and then about 20% of the second one. that's showing on this financial report that'll move back to FY '25 once we complete those year-end procedures. So if we look at our fund balance, the 89.35 days, currently, this time last year, we were at 88 days, so we're still on pace. Water sewer fund, our sales, they're a month behind, so we don't have those numbers yet. Same with our stormwater, the drainage fees, just the way the billing cycles lay, we didn't have that information by the time I had to publish. With the EDC, the only item I really want to point out that's out of character, if you see the EDC operations expenditures year-to-date, it's at 21.5%. Part of that is the insurance. The other part is we had the Texas Leverage Fund loan. FY '26 was the final year that we owed payments on that. Rather than stringing that out, we found a savings by paying that full amount up front. That's the end of my presentation. I'll wait for questions. Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor, if I can add.
Yes, sir.
Also, November the 29th, we do have our main event. It's a very special event. It's our hometown Christmas. It will be, starts at 2 p.m. and it'll end roughly around 7. Obviously, we'll have Santa and Mrs. Claus there as well. We also have another fireworks display that will be taking place at 6 p.m. And I want to encourage you guys to spread the message to any of your neighbors if that may affect any of their beings. If you would, same thing for veterans or dogs or anyone that may be affected. Please share that. We also have mailed out a mailer indicating this same event. It's given more information, obviously, about the fireworks, the location, and what's taking place. But if you would, make sure you share that, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we're going to move to our consent agenda. Does anybody have any item they wish to pull for individual consideration?
Mr. Mayor, I would request that we pull items 2 and 3 from the consent agenda for separate consideration.
All right. Anybody else? All right. So with that, do we have a motion to approve the first item on the consent agenda?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda, item number 1.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor? And for the record, all opposed with the like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. All right. So first off, PZ case number 2516. Councilwoman Kobeck, the floor is yours.
So the main reason that I asked that these 2 items be pulled for separate consideration is just because they are cases, and even though they have already gone through the process, just in the name of transparency for anyone who might be viewing the meeting tonight, that way we're being very clear and transparent, and people have a clear understanding of what we're looking at.
Currently, for this property, AutoZone has purchased a portion of the land that was available. With that, the land that's under, for the P&Z case, is the land that's surrounding it. With that, the owner of the property wanted to make it one parcel. There's multiple parcels, and with that, the zoning change makes it one. And we also have the owner here if you would like to hear from him.
Thank you. Like I said, it wasn't from me, I understood, but just so that we were being very transparent with our residents.
Sure.
Any further discussion?
Just to be clear, this is a replat, right?
That's correct.
If no further discussion or questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve PZ case number 25-16.
Do we have a second? All in favor? And for the record, all opposed? Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. And finally, we've got item 3, development agreement for 439 Mansfield Cardinal.
Yes, location 439 Mansfield Cardinal was approved roughly about a year and a half ago for planned development. The development agreement is based off of our UDC. Our UDC requires that a development agreement to be accepted and move forward. With that, that's why it's in the consent agenda. It's been a process that's been going on for the last year and a half. At this point, everything's been agreed. Everything's been able to move forward with the project. Their anticipation to start as soon as it's approved.
Any further questions, discussion items?
I'm sorry, can you remind me of who that is? That's over by Brookstone, right?
Yes, that's next to the apartments.
And so who is it going to be? It's because it's been different things over the years.
Well, it's been the same development the whole time, so it's coming in with 26 townhomes.
The retirement community? Oh, the townhomes.
Townhomes,
Oh, okay.
that's correct.
Further questions, discussion? Then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the development agreement for 439 Mansfield Cardinal.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? And for the record, all opposed with a like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. All right, so let's move on to our items for individual consideration, discussion, and/or action. Up first, we've got Animal Control Services, City of Everman, and Mr. Spencer.
Yeah, she should be able to get it up here just shortly.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for allowing me to come and present this to you today. This is something that we've been working on for quite some time. Darrell and I discussed, and Mayor Horton and I briefly discussed about the expansion. So first, let me start by explaining what. Oh, sorry. First, let me start by explaining what Municipal Animal Services is. So Municipal Animal Services currently is a partnership between the City of Everman and the City of Forest Hill. We did this partnership about 2 years ago. We found that we were both having similar struggles. We were having a hard time maintaining independent shelters. We were having a hard time maintaining adequate staffing. When you operate an animal services operation with 1 or 2 people, you lose 1 or 2 people. It's hard to fill those gaps, and we're having to come up with ways to try to serve the needs of our citizens. So in partnering together, we've been able to consolidate and regionalize what we've done in Everman and Forest Hill to not only improve our services, but also reduce the overall expenditures to both cities. Our passion is truly about the animals. We work very hard to make sure that we take care of the animals and get them adopted out. That's our number one goal. We just invested this past year into a mobile outreach adoption trailer that is, I think it's probably been in Kennedale, if I had to guess, at some point in time, because she is taking this trailer all over North Texas to work to get our animals out. Our goal is to get every healthy adoptable animal out of our shelter. So by regionalizing our partnership between Everman and Forest Hill, we've been able to share our resources, reduce our cost, and reduce duplication, overall improving our services. Our current staffing model as of today, we have an animal services manager, who I'm going to talk about here in just a couple minutes. We have 2 full-time animal control officers, and then 1 community outreach coordinator. Our community outreach coordinator's full-time job is to work to try to get the animals that are brought in out through either adoptions, fosters, get them care if they're brought in and need any sort of medical care, whatever efforts need to be put towards making sure that those animals are healthy and out. Our current animal services manager, he couldn't be here tonight because he's actually in the city of Forest Hill presenting at their city council meeting, giving them a report. But his name is Ray Rentschler. He has been in animal services for more than 25 years. He is an absolute avid animal lover, wildlife enthusiast, and subject matter expert. Not only is he those things, but he's actually an instructor. He goes around all over the state and has gone to several other states to teach animal control courses. varying from certification to euthanasia, rabies control, and much more. He is a certified animal cruelty investigator from the University of Missouri at Columbia. He is a great public speaker. The majority of his service actually comes from the city of Arlington. He worked in the city of Arlington as their animal services manager for about 15 years. He's been to a couple of other agencies. I don't know how we were lucky enough to score him and bring him in, but I will fight anybody I need to try to keep him. He has been absolutely amazing for us. He's great at interacting with the public. We all know that when we have to deal with issues dealing with people's pets, it's often an emotional issue. He is very good at making sure to remove that emotion out and engage with them in a positive way. So that's been very beneficial for us. Some current statistics for us. So currently we're serving 22,000 people between the two cities. Over the past 12 months, our animal control officers have responded to more than 1,100 calls, answered more than 16,000 telephone calls, more than 600 dogs and 175 cats have been brought in through our facility. The way that we have set up our oversight structure between the two cities is that we have a city council member from both Everman and Forest Hill and a citizen from both Everman and Forest Hill sitting on the oversight board, the Animal Shelter Advisory Board. In addition to those members, we also have a certified veterinarian, a member or a representative of an animal welfare organization, and then of course the manager himself. This oversight board is the one who approves all of the policies and procedures related to how animal services operates. So it gives control to each one of the participating cities. That's one thing that we didn't want this to be when we started this, was we didn't want it to be, well, Forest Hill is just paying the city of Everman for a service and we're getting whatever we get. No, we want to make sure that you maintain a level of control, you have a voice at the table, you have all the same input that everybody else has, and you control that operation. Our goal here is to not make this an enterprise operation. We're not looking to gain any funding off of this. We are trying to consolidate our resources, reduce our expenditures, and solely improve the service that we provide while still maintaining that level of control. So why does regionalization work? This is just a sample. These numbers are not real. This is not for any particular situation. But if you have 3 different cities all running the same operation, each one paying for 4 employees, that's costing the city about $400,000. You're investing into the same computer equipment at double the locations, or triple the locations in this case, $100,000. Communications equipment, infrastructure, all that. And you're serving only a population of 10,000. Altogether, all 3 of these are spending $2.5 million to issue or to deliver the same level of service that we could deliver if we were to regionalize, consolidate, and bring it together for $1 million less. This is a real example that we've utilized when we talk about dispatch regionalization, which has been very popular. We've been a big proponent of regionalizing because it works. We're able to significantly reduce our cost and save our taxpayers some money. So it's been great to see that. Recently, our effort was partly due with animal control, was recently recognized by the North Central Texas Council of Governments with the William J. Pittstick Regional Excellence Award. We've modeled this after several other cities with the slight caveat, what's different with us is we're not just a service provider, we are truly giving that control with the oversight board and making sure that you have a voice at the table. Proposed consolidation, staffing. Recently, as of last month, the city of Kennedale just agreed to come on board with us as well. So, I'm sorry, the city of Edgecliff Village has agreed to come on board with us as well. Their city council just approved that last month, so now we're beginning to serve them. If the city of Kennedale was to agree to come on board as well, our proposed staffing model will consist of an animal services manager, 3 full-time animal control officers, 1 part-time kennel technician, and then 1 community outreach coordinator. The oversight structure would obviously change. It would include both a city council member from the Kennedale City Council, one of you, as well as a citizen from the City of Council to serve on the Animal Shelter Advisory Board to review and approve all of our policies and procedures. We don't just respond to animal control complaints. A big part of our job is code compliance. But one of our key functions is preventative patrol. Our officers are very proactive about being out in the community. We do respond to calls for service, and we provide a 24/7 emergency response. So one of our animal control officers is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for emergencies and is able to respond to those emergencies and deal with them. One of our big key things is we love to be engaged with the community. If you were to agree to this, our animal control officers are going to want to be at all of your community events. We're going to want to interact with your citizens. We're going to want to be embedded into your community, not just providing you a service that you never see. Public education is a big one. A lot of our focus has been on educating the public regarding animal control laws and how we can prevent issues from popping up. And then we also provide free microchipping too to all the citizens. What we've done to figure out the proposed cost is we have taken a proposed budget, which is on the next page here in just a second, but we've taken a total budget of $495,000 because Everman is the hosting agency. It's our animal control. It's our shelter. We have taken $100,000 and automatically applied that to the city of Everman, leaving the other $395,000 to be divvied up between the 4 participating entities based on pro rata share population size. So that's where these numbers are coming from to make sure that we're trying to be as fair and equitable as possible with all the participating entities. So that's why you'll see Everman's portion is significantly higher than everybody else's. That's because we're the hosting agency. We felt it was right to put a base rate in there and then only divide up the remaining $395,000. Here's the full proposed budget for consolidation here. So as you can see, there's no fluff in our budget. We have a very conservative council who likes to make sure that we provide what is needed to do the job, but we don't have much extra above and beyond that. Much of our animal shelter operations runs off of donations and support from throughout the community. So when they need things like food, blankets, or the wants for the animals, we get a lot of support otherwise for that, and we're not having to spend taxpayer dollars on those kind of items. So that's very helpful for us. What you get if you partner with us is obviously you're going to get a monthly report reflecting activity and performance each month. They're going to show you not just how many animals or interactions they've had to deal with, but they're going to show you the outcome of those animals, whether or not they were adopted, whether or not they had to be euthanized for medical, euthanized for aggression, whatever the case may be. You're going to get a monthly report showing intake and outcome for every animal that comes through this shelter. You're going to get regular and direct communication between city administration, city staff, and our animal services staff. I'll be honest with you, I love Ray, but he's going to be here. Be ready. If you partner with us, he may just annoy you. He's going to be here so much. He's going to come in and talk with you, make sure that everything's going okay. He's going to talk with your citizens, make sure everything's going okay. He's very involved. Heavy involvement with public events, community engagement, public education, free microchipping for residents that should say of Kennedale. My apologies for not correcting that. Animal Service Manager will work directly with the citizens to address concerns, complaints, or issues, taking that load off of your existing staff. Our Animal Services Manager is going to handle it all for you. And then it's a true partnership, not just you paying for a service. You can always go online and check us out on Facebook, Instagram. They also have their own separate dedicated website, which is municipalanimalservices.net. One of the things we've tried to do with marketing this is we don't want this to be viewed at all as the city of Kennedale is just paying Everman to do a job for them. No, it is a partnership. That's why it's called Municipal Animal Services. That's why it has its own separate dedicated website. It really is a partnership, and we want you to be able to brand it as your own, just like we're able to brand it as our own. With that, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I did that good of a job.
As always. Just one question. Your current, and you and I talked about this the last couple of months, you were hoping to get a bond to make a bigger shelter. Can you talk about your current shelter and the hopes and dreams of the future?
Yeah, sure can. So our current shelter is undersized, which does it presents an issue for us of concern where our community outreach coordinator is really having to work in overdrive to keep our adoption rate high. She's being very successful in that, and based off the numbers that the city of Kennedale has provided, we don't expect those numbers to be impacted as of yet, but let's face it, all 4 of our communities are rapidly growing and our issues continue to grow. We have been looking at grant opportunities. One of those grant opportunities was through the U.S. Department of Agriculture to construct a brand new shelter. I'm not going to discuss political beliefs or anything like that, but there was a change in administration that took place. And that was, unfortunately for this situation, one of the DOGE cuts that went through was that the USDA grants were no more. So mid-application process, we were wiped off that plate, so we had to kind of go back to square one with that. What we are looking at now is we have a unique opportunity to purchase a facility within the city of Everman that can be renovated, and we believe we have funding support to renovate that, and we're working through that right now. Our goal is to build a shelter that has at least 60 kennels in it that can house both dogs and cats, that will serve not only as a location for housing the animals, but we also want to be able to provide a location where we can distribute low-cost vaccines to residents. People can bring their animals up there for care if they need to, partner with veterinarians, whatever it may be. So we're hoping to really expand and not just have a shelter that just kind of sits off in the middle of nowhere. We want something up front, out that's visible, that can be a resource for the community. So that's ultimately our goal and what we're working towards. The direction that my city council has given me is figure out a way to make it happen right now. They're pushing on me very hard to make this happen.
And then your policies within the shelter, is it a no-kill shelter? Is it a 2-week waiting period?
So there's no such thing as a no-kill shelter. However, our goal is, our policy statement is, we want 100% adoption rate for every healthy adoptable animal. Meaning that if they come in and if they have a medical issue that we just can't correct, that may result in euthanasia. If they were hit by a vehicle, for example, that may result in euthanasia. But our goal is every healthy adoptable animal that comes in there, our policy statement is 100% adoption rate. I don't have the report right in front of me, but we are sitting above 95% currently. So we are sitting very well with that, thanks to our community outreach coordinator, who's doing a good job at getting these animals out.
And then, you guys are just as country as we are. You have similar situations as us, like horses getting out and coyotes, and you guys have had the experience of dealing with that before?
Yes, we have. So we don't provide traps. What we do tell people is if they are able to trap the skunks or possums, we give them a resource for it. What we found is that most cities have gone away from providing the trap. If we provide the trap, or you as the city provide the trap to a resident traps it and they forget about that animal and it sits out there for 5 days before reporting it, or it's not checked, the liability may come back to the city. So what we've done is we've said, hey, look, if you trap an animal, we'll be glad to come and receive that animal for you. Our folks have dealt with horses, cattle, sheep, snakes, all those animal issues that somebody may run into. Our animal control officers are more than happy to respond out and help them address it.
And I think the most exciting thing, and I just want you to kind of reiterate it, is you're saying 24/7, 365. I can call Christmas morning on a Saturday
Yes.
with an issue, and somebody's going to answer
Yes.
with animal control.
Yeah, so overnight hours, our animal shelter phone rolls over to our police dispatch center. If they call in and there's an emergency, they're going to dispatch the on-call animal control officer out there. And that animal control officer may make a phone call to determine if it's a qualifying emergency or not. We do get residents who call and say that it's something that's urgent. It may not necessarily be urgent. It could be something that could wait till the next day. However, if it is truly an emergency, dog bite, loose vicious dog, animal who has been injured that needs immediate attention, those kinds of things, they're absolutely going to come out and respond to those 24/7.
So your policy is to return a call. There's no voicemail. It will hit somebody in that process.
Yes, no, it will hit somebody in that process. So we have it set up to where currently when you call the animal shelter, every single one of our staff, their phones will ring simultaneously to guarantee that somebody answers. If for whatever reason, all of our staff is busy and it doesn't answer within 5 rings, it rolls over to our 24/7 dispatch center, and you'll get a police dispatcher that answers that call. We'll put it in and make sure that it gets dispatched out to them.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Spencer.
One quick question. For Kennedale's current animal control officer, Officer Graves, I believe, if he's still with us, what would happen to his role? Does he transfer to the city of Everman and remain in our town? He has some experience with some of the, I've personally dealt with him on a few occasions where some animals like to get out of their fences and things like that. So I would love for him to stay with Kennedale if possible, or does he kind of get added to y'all's broader rotation to go through Everman and other towns?
You want me to go ahead? Okay. So yes, Daryl wanted to make sure, that was one thing he was an advocate for, was to make sure that there was no staff loss from the city of Kennedale, right? Which we can absolutely accommodate that, and we want to accommodate that because he has a lot of institutional knowledge about the community here and would be valuable to the rotation. So there wouldn't really be any effect there. We don't have staff that's necessarily assigned to any jurisdiction. They're going to be assigned per shifts. So he wouldn't necessarily be assigned solely to Kennedale. He could be assigned to Forest Hill, Kennedale, Everman, Edgecliff, just depending on where the calls for service are and then the duties back at the shelter as well. But you would absolutely still see him within the community, and he would be one of the officers that responds out here as a part of the team.
Other questions?
Okay.
No? Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank y'all.
Any other discussion items on this?
Mr. Mayor, I just want to say how lucky we are that we had Everman, be willing to do this with us. Fort Worth just kind of left a lot of cities in the Tarrant County out in the dust with their breaking of the contract a few months ago. Everman can actually, absolutely kind of hold us to the fire and ask for more or not give us, a say in what goes on there. And it just goes to show the kind of partnership that we've been growing with Forest Hill and Everman with our neighbors to where they're able to reach out and say, yes, we accept you guys and here's a great deal. For us, there's really no choice, but I'm glad that this is the choice.
Anything else? Any other? No? Then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the Animal Control Services Interlocal Cooperation Agreement.
Do we have a second?
I will second it.
All in favor? And for the record, all opposed with a like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. All right, so moving on, we've got resolution number R640, Tarrant Appraisal District 2026 Board of Directors. Y'all got your packets, but just FYI, we've been allocated 3 votes, and I think if you recall from prior years, we can split those up, or we can combine them all, just kind of based on what the council wants to, actually, not kind of, but based on what the council wants to do. Therefore, I will open up the floor for discussion.
Mr. Mayor, I just have a question for Carvin. Carvin, I've been following this since, for the last few months, what's been going on with TAD. The reduction from 5 votes to 3 for us, is that because of the error calculation that everybody is talking about? Like, where is the reduction? Because we had 5 last year.
I can't answer that question.
I figured you might not. I was just hoping you would. Mr. Mayor, like I said, I've been kind of keeping up with this. What I'm suggesting to council, if everybody's okay with it, is 2 votes for Eric Kreil and 1 vote for Wendy Burgess.
Mr. Mayor, I would like for Michael Alfred to also be considered.
Okay.
So would you want 1 vote, 1 vote, 1 vote?
Personally, I'd like all 3 for Michael Alfred, but I'd be willing to make a concession.
Any other thoughts on the council? I think that's what we did last year, I think, as well as 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
But we had 5 last year, so that was why I asked.
Yeah.
So I'd also like to give Wendy Burgess at least a vote, so 1 of the 3.
Sorry, 111,
Okay.
so.
All right, so everybody's
question.
good with 1, 1, 1?
Call the question?
Then I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to, I'll make sure I say it right. For resolution R640, to give 1 vote for Wendy Burgess, 1 vote for Eric Kreil, and I'm sorry, can you repeat, Thelma, which one?
Michael Alfred.
And 1 vote for Michael Alfred. Yeah.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? And for the record, all opposed with a like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. And our final item for individual consideration is M&R Quality Janitorial Services. Mr. City Manager.
Yes. In reference to that, we currently have a contract with Mr. Ron M&R. With that, the expiration of the current contract was up in October 2024. With that era of the oversight for the last 2025, we have went in and renegotiated with the new upgrade to the police department and other facilities within the city. With that, I ask that we continue to contract with our current janitorial services and extend it for a 5-year.
All right. Any discussion, questions?
I'm sorry, extend it for how long?
It'd be a 5-year term.
Any other questions, talking points? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we extend the contract with
M&R.
M&R Quality Janitorial Services.
Mr. Mayor, I'll second.
So you want me to amend that motion?
Could just amend the motion to include the language to
I
authorize.
make a motion to authorize the city manager to execute the contract.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, I second.
All right. All in favor? And for the record, all opposed with a like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. So at this, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into executive session pursuant to Section 551.087 to discuss or deliberate regarding commercial or financial information that the governmental body has received from a business prospect that the governmental body seeks to have, locate, stay, or expand in or near the territory of the governmental body and with which the governmental body is conducting economic development negotiations. Pursuant to Section 551.071, consultation with counsel on legal matters. And I think that covers it. Do we have a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we move into executive session.
All right, do we have a second?
I'll second.
And all in favor? And for the record, all opposed with a like sign. Madam Secretary, the motion passes unanimously. It is 6:29, and we're going to move into executive session. It is 7:38 PM, and we are going to go ahead and reconvene into regular session. And at this, I will ask for everybody's favorite motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second? All right, it is 7:38 PM, and the meeting is adjourned.